It's been back-to-back 3-point results on the road for Orange County. I think it has Orange County Soccer Club fans pretty excited at this point. And my 5-word response to that is more like it. Let's get right into this because we've got a jam-packed show here for you. Welcome to the Podcast of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast.
This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. Follow us on Twitter at OCSC_SoccerCast or on Facebook at Orange and Black Soccer Cast.
How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Samora. I'm here to take you through this wonderful journey as we discuss all things Orange County Soccer Club. I have a question for each of our helpers here tonight. 5 words that describes Orange County Soccer Club in the month of June. Let's go first to Mr. Dylan. What are your 5 words, Dylan?
That's a few clean sheets.
Very faint volume there. We'll figure that out there. Next, let's see what we got from Brad.
We got 3 shutouts in Colorado Springs.
What say you, Taylor?
Kicking ass and taking names.
And this is going to confuse me all night, so I apologize ahead of time. Tyler, what about you?
Hey, maybe we're good again.
There we go. Like I said, we've got a jam-packed show. We've got not 1 or 2, but we got 3 sets or guests or whatever we want to call those here. So we've got to go through this really quickly. So let's get right into this. This past weekend, Orange County went on the road for the first time ever in Detroit to face Detroit City FC. And in a hostile territory, it looks like Orange County was able to come up with 3 points. They did. It doesn't look like it. They did. Let me go to you, Dylan. Just your high-level observations of this match. And is there anything really in-depth worth talking about in depth?
I think the only thing I can think of is Kyle Scott's red card is probably going to come back to hurt us. But that's about it.
That red card, we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's one thing I do want to discuss on this because that was very interesting. Let me go to you, Brad. Colin Shutler looked amazing in goal. Another clean sheet. You mentioned that in your words, your 5 words. So basically 3 victories. All 3 victories were clean sheets. What are your thoughts on Colin Shutler for this match?
I mean, he's a different player from what we saw at the beginning of the year, and I don't know if June's his lucky month, but he had a good June last year, and he's back with a good June this year. And he's taking control of that job, so good on him.
Anything else you have to say or any other thoughts on this match before I move on to Taylor?
I mean, Sparky should have had a goal there. Would have been a worldie, but it's okay. Clean sheets, it's hard to lose a game where you don't allow a goal.
That is very much true. Taylor, I saw you nod when Brad said Sparky should have had a goal there. We were seeing that on the replay right now. That would have been like the goal of the century if that goes in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have said absolutely Hall of Fame, everything that you could possibly give, that would have been given. It would have been so cool, and we were jumping at the bit that it wasn't. It was a great game, great to watch. I think this is the first time in a while that, like, I would say that OCSC, like, for the majority of the game, like, was, like, it. So that was great to see as opposed to, like, little bits and pieces. It was almost for the full 90.
And Tyler, what are your quick thoughts on this match against Detroit City?
I think this really showed that it seems like there's been a fundamental shift in how the team is approaching games. We saw a lot early in the season of long balls over the top and defenders beating us in the final third and just not being able to finish, which we're still kind of having that problem. But especially this game, you saw a lot more ground game. There was a lot more combination play in the middle of the field. They were using the wingers out wide. And so I was really impressed and thankful to see that, like Taylor said, it seemed like a very complete package. And I think a lot of that is attributed to this new style of play that we've seen over the last few games. And it was really on high display in this game.
And going back to a month and a half ago, we talked to Ashish and he said there's going to be a different style that you're going to see. And once we get the ball rolling, Orange County is going to be competing for playoff positions. I think we're on track from what he predicted. So maybe we have to bring him on as an expert again. I will say also, it sort of corresponds here. It looks like, Colin Shutler lost his starting position when Orange County brought in Cody Cropper. Cody struggled a little bit, so they put Colin back in the lineup. And it looks like Colin is taking it really seriously, that the competition was there. This is now his opportunity to get the position back and own this position again, and he's not wanting to let it go. It's sort of like that run of form he had, like Brad mentioned last year, that in the month of, or was it Brad? I can't remember who did it. In the month of June, that great things happen. And also Owen Lamb in the lineup, I think that's helping quite a bit there. Let's talk about this red card really quick. What is going on with this? Dylan, you mentioned it, I think first, so I'm going to go to you. What do you think is happening there? I mean, we haven't been given any information, but what do you think happened on that red card?
The only way for that to be a straight red in my mind is that he had said something, but I can't imagine what is red card worthy and then not worth a statement or a suspension over. So I don't know. I just hope it doesn't hurt us too much. I mean, it's happened, so now we have to figure it out, and it's probably pretty good because we are very reliant on him, and I'm curious to see how we can, like Tyler mentioned, not shift the ball forward, but also not have to just play through Kyle Scott.
I guess the one positive on it is it's probably one of our most depthful positions, if that's a word. Dylan, correct me if I'm wrong. We got a lot of good names there. When you look at people coming in off the bench in the middle of this game, you have like Pedersen and you have Ashish Chadha coming off the bench. Those are players that can sort of slot in for a match while Kyle serves a suspension. Taylor, thoughts on that? You're the one that has the most experience being on the pitch in the heat of the moment. From what you could see on the camera work, it's like a little shoving match with and the ball. And I want to say after the red card and all the scuffle, or the not really scuffle, but the word play, Cody Cropper looked pretty annoyed with whatever the decision was there. So obviously there was something that he didn't like. What are your thoughts? I mean, you've seen these before. You know what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be nice to have some clarity, like on what fully happened. It's just odd. Like, I mean, everyone gets worked up. I've been worked up. I've gotten cards from being worked up as well. But to go for a straight red and, like Dylan said, there's no statement, no suspension. That it's kind of weird. But I do think the ref was a little card happy, and I think that's probably going to be a big influence on why he got that straight red.
Yeah, there was some smugness in that ref whenever he was pulling out those cards. He seemed to really enjoy that moment. Tyler, Brad, any last moments on this match before we move on?
Yeah, I think I'm continuously impressed by how solid the back line has been. We talked about the clean sheets, but you have this kind of set four, which I think the four that we deployed in this game is probably the best back line that we can put out right now. And you're seeing them be fluid. They're really in sync with one another. There were multiple times where they were kind of pressing a little bit higher up. And so of the changes we've seen this past month, I think the back line solidifying as a unit has been probably the most impressive thing for me.
Perfect. Let's move on really quick. Want to talk about what happened this past Saturday also. While most of the teams out there in Detroit, the front office and the players that didn't make the trip, along with Taylor, were at what was it, Santa Ana, I believe, for the Pride March. And Taylor, I know you and your family are a big part of sort of this movement for Orange County to recognize Pride Month, and I know everything else you want vocalness from the club on a lot of stuff. What was that like for you? I know you got to march with maybe a player or two, with Gnarly. I believe our producer Andy was there banging the drum away. What was it like for you?
Hot. No, it was really good. It just so happened to fall on the hottest day that we've had in a good while, but it was really fun to have the club there and marching, and then they had a booth as well. So they were there long after we were. We went home and basically fell asleep as soon as we go home after all the shenanigans of the day. But it was great to be there and have so many people cheering and like going around, and we could see people with OCSC pride stickers, and hopefully we get maybe even 1 or 2 fans, or maybe like new ones, or even people like now know like, oh, that's a safe place for us to go and enjoy soccer and our time. So it was really awesome.
I obviously know Brad didn't make it there. I know I didn't make it there. Tyler, were you able to make it down to the Pride Parade? I don't recall. I can't remember on the chats.
No, I didn't get a chance to.
All right, no worries. I just wanted to give opportunity for anyone that wanted to share ideas. What would you say, Taylor? I know it wasn't like the biggest turnout. I know it was there was I guess a little bit of maybe not confusion, but a little bit of hesitancy to open it up to like a lot of people because there was only so many slots. But what would you say? What was the turnout like? Were you at least pleased with the turnout? Do you wish there was more? What were your thoughts on all that?
I would love to see some more like of CLC or just like the fans in general. I know it wasn't opened up to fans in general, but I'd love to see more involvement there, because I know a lot of people were fighting for it and a lot of people wanted to go. There was also like conflicting issues with people and sick kids and stuff like that, but it would be great to have some more. But I will say that like the turnout to the actual event itself, public at large, fantastic. And there was, like Ash said in the comments, there were so many people like lining up at our tent to do the spin and get a little bit of OCSC like merch. So it was really great overall. And of course we had Brent Richards, so that just, that made it great.
Yeah, I know Brent Richards, awesome ally to the cause. So it's glad that he was able to make it out there. Obviously it means he didn't play for the team out in Detroit. And what I'll say about this, right? This is sort of Orange County just starting to figure out how to participate in some of these types of events. And I'm sure there will be feedback from fans, from Taylor, from CLC on maybe what can be different next year or next time to help make the process easier and open it up to more participation, because obviously, as Orange County's one true professional soccer team, we want to make sure that presence is seen and that their voice is heard and the fans are being heard on that as well. Any thoughts from those of you that didn't make it on the Pride March in Orange County participating in this event, I believe for the first time?
I am
Dylan.
so freaking glad we've got around to this. I mean, it took too long, but I'm glad that we're there and we're making an effort. And much like Taylor said, this is my hope that people recognize Orange County and the club and Championship Stadium as this is a place where I can go and express myself and be safe to do so. Obviously we live in California and we might live in the Florida of California, but I feel like there's less and less of those places as time goes on, and I really want my community club to be one of those places.
And I'll just say soccer seems to be one of those sports that's really open to including many people, being sort of on the forefront of that, which is, again, Dylan sort of referenced where we are located in the state. It's not always the most friendly for all causes. So I'm not trying to diss anybody, but that just is sort of what we have there. Let's do this really quick. We have some guests that actually have been waiting patiently in the green room. We're going to go and bring them on because we do have an upcoming match this coming weekend against Monterey Bay FC. So we invited Oz and Superfan Dan. I didn't know we were going to get nicknames going on here. They are from, what is it? I'm just sort of blanking. Where are you guys from? What group?
Fuerza Unión. So I have a supporters group called Fuerza Unión, and every Tuesday we do a show on Instagram Live where we talk about the last week and then the upcoming coming week. Yep.
There we go. So obviously, I don't think we know a whole lot about Monterey Bay because obviously we focus mostly in Orange County. Although I will say Brad was bragging in our chats this week heading into the show that Monterey Bay is probably the most knowledgeable he is of any team, including Orange County in the USL. I think that's what he was saying, right, Brad?
Not including. I think you're misconstrued my words, but I'm familiar with Monterey Bay as following the league with most of the players you guys have, Sam Gleadle included, and just my insight with the family themselves because of his time up in Reno.
Sure.
So you have an amazing player, and his family too is absolutely stellar and super supportive. So it's nice.
Totally agreed.
It's nice having families like that in the league.
Agreed. And it's a growing family.
Yeah. Last season was quite frankly, a bunch of single guys except for Kai Green and Sam Gleadle. But now we've got Alex Dixon's got his family here, and Chuy Enriquez has got his family here, and we got a couple of newly married guys and a couple of engaged guys. So yeah, it's becoming more of a family club.
So let me ask you this question, because obviously, when you think of the greater U.S. sports picture, Monterey Bay isn't really top of the list for professional sports teams. But, when you look at USL Championship, that's sort of what's great about this league, is you can open it up to some of these smaller markets. What has the addition of a professional club, soccer, for any sport, but soccer in this picture, meant for the community in large? What has it meant to the development of youth soccer in your area that you have seen?
Oh, it's been huge because, they already have their amateur side, their MBFC2 side, and all these high school kids are now talking about it. Like, I want to be on that team. And all of a sudden there's this pathway, that you hear that path to pro all the time in the marketing of this league. But now the kids can really see that, whoa, I have a way to now play professional soccer. And yeah, it's been awesome. This whole community has been activated. Like you're saying, they have no competition really professionally. So, but everywhere you go, you're gonna see the shield somewhere, and the team's only a year old. It's been amazing.
It continues to be the biggest draw in terms of youth sports on the peninsula is youth soccer, both inland and on the coast. We say it every week. We are incredibly fortunate to have a team of this caliber, USL Championship team, in such close proximity to so many larger cities, such as, we're just an hour south from San Jose. We're an hour and a half south of San Francisco. We're 3 hours from Sacramento.
Like, in our biggest cities, like the size of Santa Ana, you guys know that. And that's just, it's so cool to have a pro team with such a small population base. It's been awesome.
It really has.
And I'll just say it's not a bad away game for fans, right? It's not like having to travel to Sacramento or something like that. I mean, it's a nice area to visit and spend a weekend away at. Tell us about this team this year. You guys, is the team doing what y'all expected heading into the season? Are they overachieving? Are they not achieving to the level you thought? How do you think they're doing so far?
So for me, yeah, I'll take it first. For me, I think they're back to the level that I expected them at. There was the 1 month period there about a month ago, where they were dealing with some injuries and it got a little off their game. I think that first month and these last 5 matches have been shown what the team really is or what they want to be. And I don't know if I would say third place. I want to go back and see what my guess was at the beginning of the season. I think at the moment they're a little bit higher than I would expect them to, but the way they're playing is exactly how I would expect them to. I think I'm excited to see some of the tougher teams on the schedule come up and see how they really do against them. That Sacramento one I thought was a big barometer match for me, and to go to Sacramento and beat them at that stadium with all those people, it was quite the experience. But I think this is exactly where they wanted to be, and I think I don't think they're overachieving too much.
No, I think they're on par for where they expected to be. We had a really terrific run about 2/3 of the way through our first season, where the results were really starting to come our way. And then we had some injuries to some key players. Then I wouldn't say the wheels fell off, but we struggled. And to come out of the gate the way we did this season and to play as well as we did against top caliber teams like Louisville and I'm trying to remember who was the other one, top 2-tier teams that we played against in the first 3 weeks, and
not Hartford.
And we played well, and then of course we again struggled with some injuries just about a month ago, and we're still coming back from some of those injuries. But they're playing well now, and I think what they're able to achieve now is more indicative of the style of play that they want to play and the results that they're able to achieve.
You've spoken a lot about how they might feel, how they're doing, but how do you two feel?
I'm thrilled with where we are right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm completely excited and happy. I like it.
It feels good to have clean sheets. It feels good to see team goals like the one this weekend with Siaha saving a penalty, getting the ball booted upfield and having some great combination play, unselfish combination play between Alex Dixon and Christian Valesky to score a team goal, 13 seconds from end to end and then preserving the clean sheet on top of that. It's been an exciting season, and I think it's a fantastic advertisement for USL Championship. We are starting to get more and more fans coming to the games more regularly. I mean, we've got a good group of diehards that have season tickets, and season ticket sales are good. We would like to see more and more people come. The biggest thing, I think, DJ, I think you said it earlier. I mean, the biggest thing that the Monterey Bay has going for it is its temperate climate, especially during June and July and August. But I think there are a lot of people who expect to come to California, come out here and expect Baywatch weather. And, we sell a crap ton of fleece that says Monterey on it. So,
I'm glad to hear business is going well.
Yeah.
More on the less so on a player side, because we can obviously all go on Google and figure out where players were born and raised and went to college and such. Just how much of, obviously it's Monterey Bay, which is a substantial geographic area and a substantial bay, but just how far and wide are you guys dragging people in from the valley and from Salinas any further than that? Watsonville, is Santa Cruz too far?
No, we've got folks from Santa Cruz. We bring in people from San Juan Bautista and Hollister. We've got from South County like Soledad and Greenfield and King City.
Yeah, and I'm actually from Salinas, and I host my watch parties in downtown Salinas. So yeah, and then the MBFC 2, the amateur side is in Salinas. So
and chock full of local players as well from California State, Monterey Bay. We've got some San Jose State players. We've got some local high school legends who are playing currently for MBFC 2. So we are drawing from all over the Tri-County area, which is good for us.
Nice. So obviously you guys are coming down here to us, and you're going to have to deal with the home fans being all rowdy. But what do you think the team on the pitch is going to have to do to play against OCSC and maybe not, succumb to Milanowski down there?
We didn't seem to have a problem with him last year, and we thank you for hosting the coming out party for Anthony Siaha. That was his debut. He kept a clean sheet and then proceeded to keep clean sheets for the next 5 matches after that. So I think our guys, I think our team are prepared. I think our team is ready to come down there and play. I think they're feeling confident. We've still got some players coming back from injury, and we saw some. I think the last of our injuries got a couple of minutes this past Saturday. Grant Robinson came on and played the last 10 minutes or so. So
if Sam Gleedle's available as well, he completely changes matches.
Yeah.
And but I'm still concerned. The keeper, you guys' keeper is on a good tear, and the defense has kind of figured it out a bit. But I'm like, can they still have struggled to score the amount of goals they did at the beginning of the season? So that's more of my concern. Is can we get past what's I'm blanking on your keeper's name? What
Shutler?
Shutler, yeah,
Shutler.
And do you guys switch between two? Why is he have almost as many starts as the other keeper? Was that? Do you guys switch between that, or is just that was the keeper earlier in the season?
I think we're in speculation, but I think that we had Rakowski obviously, and then that was a big hole to fill. And Shutler was new into USL and big time, I think. So I think it was a little bit of finding what was a fit for the team. I think kind of in general we were just trying to find a fit for the team, but I think Shutler's doing a great job there now.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern, to be quite honest.
Yeah, having a good quality keeper in the back there as your last line of defense, so to speak, is it that breeds confidence through the rest of the side. So
yeah, 1 goal against Miami I wasn't that happy.
No.
Shutler's going to have his work cut out for him this week. You guys have Dixon, who's had 10 goal contributions. You've got Valesky, who's had 11. So what do you guys attribute to their success in terms of being involved in so many of the goals that Monterey's had this year?
Again, it goes back to our attacking cadre are so unselfish and so team driven. You're not going to see anybody ball hogging. They are all looking for the best opportunity to put the ball in the net, and Every single member of the team is looking for that opportunity. If they see someone's open, the ball is going to move and look for the best option.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly said. I can add to that, but I don't want to keep you guys on the line too long. But that's exactly it. That's really,
they are
very
truly
well
playing
said.
for each other.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic to watch.
and they can also.
It's exciting to see. We're excited to host you guys.
Yeah, we feel bad that not too many of us can come out this week. We might have some people down there. We're talking about it, but definitely not as much as up to Sacramento. But we'll get there.
We're working on away trips. We're still building that audience. So we had a good turnout in Sacramento. I think OC with such a quick turnaround, I think is asking a lot of folks, especially on the July 4th weekend.
All right, so I'll take that as my cue to go ahead and ask some questions. So, you guys have touched upon the attacking prowess and the selflessness of Monterey Bay, which, to be fair, is exactly how they've won games. That's how they beat Vegas when they were down here where I live.
Yeah.
But the one thing we haven't touched on is Hugh Roberts and Kai Green are the pedestal backline of the league, in my opinion. I believe Hugh Roberts is one of the few players to play every single minute of this campaign so far in his age 30 season. What else other than Siaha is the pedestal that you guys would put in your team's defense?
That switch to 3 in the back.
Yep.
We've talked about it, and yeah, they've switched to 3 in the back, and that has
but it was an enforced change. I mean,
yeah.
I think you may have gotten the two center backs mixed up. But Kai Green has played every minute of every match so far. Hugh Roberts was out with a bit of an injury for a bit.
Sorry,
no, and we are and we're dependent on both of them.
Yeah.
With Hugh out and then losing Grant Robinson at left back, and then losing Max Glasser, who's in his rookie year, also to international call-ups with Nicaragua. All of a sudden, we were missing half of a back four, so we were enlisting defensive midfielder Moby Fair and local CSUMB product and Santa Cruz native Walmer Martinez at left back, which is a completely unfamiliar position for him. And as Oz and I have talked about several times, that gave us a physicality that allowed us to weather the storm while both Grant and Hugh were out. And now that Hugh is back, what we saw for the first time, and it was in Vegas, we saw the debut of, we've been a pretty stalwart 4-2-3-1 system. What we saw in Vegas was a flexible 4-2-3-1 that then became a 3-4-3 with Moby dropping back. Having played for 4 or 5 games that center back role, all of a sudden we had a back three of Moby, Hugh playing as sweeper, and Kai Green on the right, which allowed Walmer to play forward more as a wing back, allowed Maury Donor to play more as an attacking attacking wing back, and then as we've touched on before, the unselfishness of the front four, the attackers, and then James Murphy playing bulldog in the middle. It's been fun to watch. The flexibility and fluidity of our lineups have been. It's given Yallop the ability to chop change and cover where we've had some inconsistencies with the injuries and call-ups that we've had.
All right. Well, I can't have the Monterey team on without giving a shout out to the team that had to fall so that you guys could rise. I know you guys played against, they're now called the Central Valley Fuego.
Yep.
How contentious was the supporter groups during that game in the Open Cup? Is there some hate between the two groups for Monterey getting moved over to Monterey?
I'd like to say that there was some residual, beef, but far and large, the crowd there in Fresno that night were great to us.
Yeah,
I think,
and we really couldn't hear them.
I won't say jovial, but it was we were good to them. They were good to us. At the end of the match, we all said good game as they were leaving the stadium, and I didn't think there were hard feelings. Now, that's not to say that They didn't say stuff behind our backs or anything like that. But I mean, to our faces, they were all very kind.
Yeah.
From my time up in Reno, Fresno was a great away day, so I miss that team.
We did feel some from the Sacramento supporters when we were there a couple of weekends ago. There was some mention asking us whether or not any of us had any Reno merch on us. You know, when anybody wearing a Reno scarf or something, we said no, and they said good, because we won't let you leave the parking lot if you're wearing it. So that beef was still there.
So a little bit of trivia for everyone. Our first ever guest from another podcast was from one of the guys at Foxtrot Pod that covered Fresno FC. So a little bit of trivia there for us. We got to get into some match predictions for this. So what we like to do is just sort of predict the upcoming match, who's going to win, what the scoreline will be, and then we usually will predict who the first goal scorer will be for Orange County. You all can predict, if you want to predict for your team, who the first goal scorer is. So we'll do that. So I'm going to let you all go first. You can pick the order. So who's going to win, what the scoreline will be, and who's going to be the first goal scorer. You all can pick for Monterey Bay who the first goal scorer will be.
Okay, let's see. I'm going with I'll be nice. I won't try to stir stuff up. We'll go with 2-2 draw. It's going to be a 2-2 draw, and Dixon's going to score first.
I'm gonna go with the scoreline from last year. I'm going to say 2-0 win for Monterey Bay. Siaha's flying high right now, very confident, and I'm going to agree. I think it's Alex Dixon that gets the first goal.
What about you, Dylan? What's your prediction for this match?
I'm going to go 1-1.
And who's the first goal scorer for Orange County?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part. Sorry. Well, there's only one, because he's Milan.
Brad?
I have a hard time seeing either team really making much work of the back of the net, so I'm going to say 0-0.
Ooh, nice.
All right, and obviously no goal scorer on that. Taylor?
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for OCSC. We have shutout Shutler, and I don't see it stopping for this game.
And who's scoring?
Milanowski. That's a given.
I think the odds are on our little game here is pretty much, if you don't pick Milan, you're basically picking to lose. Tyler?
All right, I'll pick Toulouse. We'll do 1-0 OC, and we will say Osendini is going to score to make it different.
There we go. Here's what I got to say, right? Both of these teams are coming in, I believe, 2 games in a row of shutouts. So it's like that old WWF, WWE thing. What is it? The immovable force versus the unstoppable object, right? That's what you got going on here. But I'm going to say, Orange County's Hulk Hogan, y'all are Andre the Giant, so we're going to body slam y'all. It's going to be 2-0 Orange County, Milan Olowski scoring first. So that's how we think it's going to go. Any last thoughts from anyone that wants to share anything, whether it's Oz, Superfan Dan, or anyone on the show? And I will say this, our Larry I was trying to jump on here really quick just to compare beards with Superfan Dan, because that's a pretty fight competition right there. But I don't know. He might have some spotty internet. I don't know if he's out of the country already at this point. That might be why. I think he was going to be somewhere in Italy or something. So probably not the greatest reception for him. Any last thoughts from anyone?
Our Pride night was this last Saturday night, and I've been in the habit of spray painting my beard multiple colors. So I proudly wore a rainbow on Saturday for our community.
Awesome. That's much appreciated.
If you go if you go to Instagram and go to Superfan Dan 831, you'll see lots of photos of what it looked like.
Let me say this. If any of our followers or anyone that listens to our podcast want to hear more from you all, where do they go?
At Fuerza Union Club on Instagram. That's where all our videos are archived there.
Our Tuesday night drop-ins.
Yeah, our show called The Drop-In, which where we cover the team, and at Fuerza Union Club. And
then on Instagram, I am Superfan Dan 831. We have a supporters group called Fog Dog Footy 831, because we're Marina based, and that's kind of where the Fog Dogs live. And then we're on Facebook as Fog Dog Footy as well, Fog Dog Footy 831, and I am Fog Dog Footy 831 again on Twitter. So there you go.
There we go. Well, I want to thank Oz and Superfan Dan for taking some time to join us on the show to help us learn a little bit more about Monterey Bay FC. Hopefully they're not too disappointed when Orange County comes out victorious this weekend, 2-0 with Milan Olaski scoring first. As always, thank you. And we look forward to talk to you again very soon.
The door is open. We hope to see a lot of you when we return the favor and host you. So look forward to it.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much. Superfan Dan brought up the Pride night that they had, and I forgot before we brought them on, we ought to look at the Pride fantasy, playing for Pride fantasy results, because now there's no more games left in June. We got to see who is the winner on this. So let's see if we've got results that we can show on the screen. So look at that on-air team. Is there any surprise there for the on-air team? Who is the winner for fantasy playing for Pride Fantasy Soccer? Remember, I'm the one that picked 2 goalies out of the 5 players I could pick. So one of my players got 0 points the whole time, and yet I still demolished the competition. Although, Taylor, you were very close.
I will say
congrats.
that I also had picked 2 keepers as well, so we were in the same boat there. I didn't get.
So I wonder.
points.
I got to figure out where we changed there, where we were different a little bit there, because got some.
I
points
believe
different there.
Taylor had Milan Olaski, and to kind of sum up
So did I.
the top. Oh, sorry, Taylor didn't. I don't remember. Anyways, to sum up, if you had either Shutler and Olaski, those were the 2 players who scored the most. Shutler had 30 points over the 4 games with the 3 shutouts and a couple of saves in the I think in the Colorado Springs game. But Shutler did what goalies have not done in the past and had a really, really, really good June for your playing for Pride teams. So typically, if you started a goalie that was the starting goalie going into June, you've not had a good playing for Pride this year. Throw that out the window. Shutler had an amazing month, and Milan Olaski continued being Milan.
What about the ratio? How do you think? Are you disappointed in your results, Dylan?
No, this is nature. I am meant to finish last and forever will finish last, and I'm okay with that.
Cool. Well, that was playing for Pride for 2023. Congratulations to the on-air winner, myself, and for the written team, behind the scenes team, whatever we call it, and also the fan groups for what you all did. I believe the overall winner, Hannah. Yeah, good job.
Oh, do you want me to say what Hannah said earlier?
Well, I was
Being
assuming
that's
that
my
I was assuming that Brad's gonna give a good congratulations here, but he's being quiet. He must be a little bit upset about it.
No, I'm not. I'm not upset at all. She absolutely smoked the competition. I think Ray was the closest or something, 8 points behind. So she's told everybody to get good and pick players like she does.
Just for the
There
record,
we
she had no
go.
clue what she was doing, right?
She told me her logic was to pick 1 player from each position, because she misunderstood the directions as she needed to pick a goalie, a defender, a midfielder, a substitute, and an attacker. So she picked her team based off of that, and it worked out really well.
I guess having a balanced team really works out, even when it comes to playing for Pride Fantasy Soccer. Very interesting on the results there. Thank you to everyone who contributed. I think many of us have said we're gonna, if we have not already, donate to toward the cause, playing for Pride and at the Ally. I think how many points did I have? I had like 61 points, so I'm going to donate at least $61 plus a little bit more on top of that, just to be nice and be a good person. That's how that goes. What do we want to talk about next, everyone? I know we were supposed to have a scheduled guest. I don't know what's going on. I know we're checking on that, but there we go. Season score predictions. Let's see how we're doing on those. Yeah, thank you, producer Andy. That's why I like having a producer. So this is how we're doing here. Taylor, you're the expert on score predictions.
Yeah, I'm just clearly taking off here, and we'll continue to take off and leave everyone behind.
Is that so? Well, now we're making this competition. Now I gotta do this seriously.
Just like Dylan said, is nature, and I am here to win.
See,
All right.
that's a balance. It's perfectly balanced in the Dylan and Taylor Black
Podcast.
and Orange Soccer Cast.
Yep.
Because football cast, because I am terrible at this, and she is not.
Well,
You're better
Dylan,
than me.
Dylan, I'll give you credit. You're not terrible at this. You're terrible
just
at getting
never
your
see it.
score predictions in. If we were to average out per game guest, I think you'd probably be smoking the group in this call right now. But unfortunately, that's not how things work. And I will get you a detail like that at the end of the season. But with score predictions, we're halfway through the season, 17 games out of 34. And I mean, as you see it, Kayvon is still in first place for all the community at large. However, it's a lot tighter than I would have thought at this point in the season, given how some players were running away with it. And June boasted improved score across the board for most players because we generally pick Orange County winning regardless of who they're up against. There hasn't been a majority lose or draw, so it's nice seeing the team performing well, and score predictions have definitely bolstered off of that.
See, when I forget to do my predictions, the team does really well. And then when I predict, they lose. So I'll keep losing and forgetting to predict, and then the team will win. So you're welcome, everyone.
There we go. I mean, I think Dylan, like, he's part of the old school podcast team. We didn't ever have to fill out this form. We would just say stuff and we would jot it down as we're talking or something. So maybe that's why he's not doing so. We're trying to fix our problem because I think we have our guest is ready to do this, but for whatever reason, we're having trouble getting the connection here. So bear with me just a moment as we try and figure that out. Maybe what I'll do is
5 words.
we'll try and figure this
about
out.
Pride Month.
What's
Tyler,
up,
go
Dylan?
first. We're gonna say 5 months about Pride Month.
5
Tyler's going
months?
first. 5 words about Pride Month. Excuse me.
Okay.
Soccer has to do better.
Okay. Brad.
The return of Colin Shutler.
This was just about Pride Month, and you guys have really taken this into a soccer direction. Taylor.
Pride all year, more June. You
I
gave
was
me
going
5
with
words.
gay people exist all time
There you go.
because I realized I was going to be one short. So,
Yeah,
look at us.
not successful, but the point was made.
Yes, and Pride Month was successful. So, while Ray makes a very determined face at his computer, I guess we'll just continue talking about nonsense.
Well, I don't get to put in words.
I mean, if you think you have the bandwidth for that, Ray, your 5 words about Pride Month, please.
Yay, 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 yay.
Oh,
I'm a little
see,
disappointed.
Joseph did it better than us. He said soccer is for everyone. That's the 5, and it was a full sentence.
That's 4 words, right?
It's 4.
Soccer
He
is
split up
for-
everyone.
He
to
split up
different words,
everyone.
So it works. You get points
That-
for efficiency.
Okay, well, soccer is for every person. There you go. I helped him out.
Look at us. I'm trying to kill time, but I am unfortunately out of ideas with this rather scatterbrained first idea. So,
So, Dylan,
All right.
what's
Our guest.
favorite vegetable and how do you prepare it?
There you go.
Ooh,
It's a deep cut.
I think cauliflower, and if not cauliflower, then spinach. I do love a nice leafy green. The versatility in spinach. Throw it on pizza. Throw it in a smoothie. Why not? And, otherwise, cauliflower.
It's so nice becoming an adult and learning how
All
to
right,
cook
so I
vegetables.
actually got something to talk about.
Really quick.
So-
Cut you off here because I want to bring in our guest. We're going to have a very limited time with him really quick because we were having technical issues. We've got Mr. Goalkeeper of the Month, obviously. We got to say that. It's Mr. Colin Shutler. 3 shutouts in the month of June. I believe you were listening when we were talking about this, Colin, but you were the main reason for any of us that did good in our fantasy playing for Pride soccer thingamajig because of your performances in the month. So first, let me just say, because I was the winner on the on-air team, thank you so much.
Of course. Well, thank you. I'm glad I was able to do that for you, and thank you for having me on. I'm sorry I was trying to get on my laptop, but I guess it wasn't working, so now I'm on my phone.
Yeah, no, apologize for the technical difficulties on our end as well. Let me just ask you this quickly. Competition for goalkeepers. What does that mean for a goalkeeper having competition to sort of push you to do better? I would assume with Cody Cropper there, there's a competition between the two of you to get playing time. Obviously, you sat out for a little bit, you got back in, and it looks like you're not ready to give up that starting spot in between the posts.
I'm definitely not ready to give up my spot yet. But yeah, I think competition is a huge thing in the goalkeeper position. Obviously, only one can play at a time, which is unfortunate. But my relationship with Cody is really good, and I think we feed off of each other. I'm getting better because he's pushing me, and I hope he's getting better because I'm pushing him. So I think it's really healthy for both of us at the moment.
Colin, very far away from the playing field here. Why number 20?
That is a great question. Obviously, goalkeepers wear number 1, but actually, one of my my best friends at home, who unfortunately had to give up his soccer days a couple years too early because of family issues, wore number 20 for my club team when we were younger. So I thought it was a great way to just go to a new number while some of the numbers that I've worn in the past were already taken.
Nice. Taylor.
That's great. Obviously, you've had some shutouts now, and you're getting a name, Shutout Shutler, so that's great. How does that affect you mentally going into the next games? Is it a push for you? Is it a nerve for you? How does that work?
I'd say it's a push. I had actually that nickname in college, but as long as I have those 4 in front of me, like you guys were talking about before, we've sort of figured things out. I mean, it starts up top as well with the guys running our forwards and our midfielders. But if I have all 10 of the guys working in front of me and not much to do, then I'm a happy guy just watching in the back.
Sounds good. I will let you know that I was one of your biggest advocates on the podcast. Other people may have had their little doubts every now and then, given that you're so young. But I want to let you know that it was me that was pushing for you the whole time. So don't let them tell you otherwise.
Thank you. Yeah, I know I'm still young for the position, but I fully believe that I'm mature enough and I'm ready to take the next step to be a full-time starter for a team like this and hopefully get to the next level sooner than later.
Absolutely. Is there any personal goals that you have for the remainder of the season?
Just keep getting shutouts. I mean, that's always an easy one to say as a goalkeeper, but it's interesting to say that I've let in 4 goals in the past 4 games, but 3 of them were shutouts. Hopefully we can get less than a goal per game at this point and hopefully not have a lapse like we did in Colorado. But if we just keep getting shutouts the rest of the way, I think this team can go far.
Let me just say, Colin, to get compliments from anyone on here, Taylor's the best one. She actually plays your position. She's played your position professionally. So she knows what it's like to do what you do between the sticks. So it's a great compliment to get from her on that as well.
Yes. Well, thank you. And I applaud you for playing that position as well, Taylor. It's definitely mentally tough and physically tough on your body as well.
Absolutely.
Colin, star
Yes.
of the month for June. So thanks for joining us tonight. After the championship season a couple of years ago, someone asked Patrick Rakowski, how do you prepare for a penalty kick? And he said, I don't, I just guess. So I want to ask you, how do you prepare for a penalty kick? And is your answer the same as Rakowski?
It is not as simple as Rakowski or as Pat once said, but I do have a little things that I look at just from like a psychology standpoint. That is from a good article from Nick Raimondo after he retired. I can't fully give away because if shooters are watching, I don't want to give it away. They can go up and look up Raimondo's article, but I do have a few things that I look at, and it's more of an educated guess, I would say.
Perfect on that one. Brad, do you have any questions for Colin?
Yeah, I got one for you, Colin. So We've seen a lot of change so far this year. One of the biggest things is we've seen a lot of change in that back four, regardless of coaching staff. Is this the back four that we see right now that you are most comfortable with, and how do you direct them, and how do they direct you?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that it's my favorite four. I mean, I love all the guys on the team, and I fully believe that if any of them have to replace either Owen, Marcus, Dill, or Ryan, that I fully believe that they'll be able to get the job done as well. In regards to talking to each other, like throughout the game and through practices, we're always going back and forth, sometimes a little more heated than others. But it's all in good competition and just trying to get ourselves better so that when we come out on Saturday, we can make ourselves and the fans happy with another shutout.
Perfect. Let me ask you this real quick, Colin, because the club has been teasing a new kit. I'm not going to ask you to tell us what the kit looks like. Don't want to get you in trouble, but I'm sure you've seen the little tease that they threw it on social media. What are your thoughts of that fake kit that they showed with faces of Gnarly? Is that something that you would be willing to rock at a game if that became the official third kit?
Well, unfortunately, I don't get to wear the third kit. I have seen the real one, and I did. I was actually part of the social media that was shown the fake one as well. They didn't put me up there, but I had a more friendly interaction with the fake one, and I think they were hoping for a bigger reaction from me. But I mean, as a goalkeeper, we always wear those unique kits, as Taylor definitely knows up there as well. So yeah, I would say I wouldn't be opposed to wearing it. I'm used to some unique colors as well. I used to wear purple and pink back in the day, and I loved it as well. So us goalkeepers usually love being the unique ones out there, and that's why we play the position.
I will say
Awesome.
that there was 1 year that I got to wear blue, like all blue for home and all red for away, and I was like, you know what, this is a little different though from a highlighter, but it's still like just very one color.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah, it definitely is, and I've brought on the highlighter name with me as well. I used to wear that almost every single weekend when I was in high school.
Perfect. So the club is celebrating their 10 years in Orange County this upcoming match. Obviously, you haven't been a part of the club for the full 10 years, but you are part of the club right now. What does it mean as a player to be part of a club that's sort of been in the USL? They're like sort of the founding members of the modern day or current day USL. So it's a longevity aspect there with the club. What does it mean as a player to wear that badge on your kit and represent a team like Orange County?
I think it's a huge achievement, and I think that goes out with saying, going out like every home game, just the fans that show out for this team are incredible. And what this front office and staff have been able to do in the years before me are showing now. And I think it's the biggest numbers they've seen so far, and I think they're going to keep growing through the years. So being here at this time, I think, I mean, I'm very lucky where I am today, and hopefully we can, as a team, bring in another championship like 2 years ago. It'd be a great 10th year present.
I think we would all be excited if that becomes the outcome of the season. And I mean, when you look 2 years ago, you're looking sort of that trajectory. It's sort of a similar path, right? The struggles early on, you go on a run in June, and that year there was a coaching change. This year there's a coach change. There's a lot of similarities between the two seasons. Now, obviously, you never wish for coaching changes. You don't wish for the struggles, but if you can end with lifting the cup again, that would be an awesome, and adding a second star on the crest there, that'd be pretty awesome. Any last words you have for the fans that are going to be making out to Championship Soccer Stadium this weekend?
Hopefully, I mean, I just hope that we have a great following this Saturday. I mean, it's a great achievement for the club to get 10 years. And I mean, it's unsaid that this is going to be our only home game again in this month. So they're getting kind of rare at this point. So come out, enjoy it. I know the club has a lot of things planned for the game, and hopefully the players can give a good game as well with a win.
Colin, once again, away from the field. 2 questions for you. One, what is your favorite vegetable, and how do you prepare it?
I would say it's actually one that I very much disliked growing up. It's Brussels sprouts. I usually put them in the oven, not grilled, and I do a little bit of balsamic on it, some salt and pepper as well, and nice next to a nice salmon and some risotto rice. It's very good.
This man can not only save goals, but also has an impeccable food taste. Colin, when you're not at home making yourself some salmon and Brussels sprouts, do you have a local place that you'd like to shout out?
Oof. I do not get the privilege of going out to eat at local restaurants around here, so I would not be the one to ask, unfortunately. I would definitely go with any of the ones that you guys have to say, though. I've only been here for about a year and a half, and I've maybe gone out to In-N-Out and Chipotle a couple times, but no local ones for any special events. So sorry to disappoint on that one. Yeah,
None of these youth
yes.
teams that you come out and you help out with from time to time, none of them have taken you out or given you a gift card to a local spot. Man, they got to treat you better.
They treat me very well. We went to a pizza place, but it was more for the kids. They had arcades everywhere, so they were just off running around. But we have gone to some restaurants. I'm not a good. I don't remember names very well, so.
Not trying to make your teams look bad. I just said that because I ran into
No.
Colin at a youth soccer game 6 months back or something, and I introduced myself. I'm sure Colin's like, "Who is this guy saying hi to me?" But no, I appreciate that what you're doing to help out the youth players too in the area. That's also an awesome feat and giving back to the local community and giving back to youth soccer because that's the next round of players are going to come from that there. Colin, I'm going to let you go. You're on a little later than you probably planned because we had technical issues, but I thank you for being patient and hanging out with us and answering some questions and wishing you all the best of luck this weekend. And let's get another shutout.
Yeah. Let's get another shutout. Have another good month of July. But thank you so much for having me on. And it's bedtime for me now. So
go get that rest. We want to make sure we don't ruin your schedule for prep for the game this week. Ladies and
all
gentlemen,
good.
Goalkeeper for your Orange County Soccer Club, Colin Shutler, Shutout Shutler, as he's now known. Thank you for joining us. Folks, we're going to be going into some overtime for this episode because of the technical issues we had. So hang out with us. Hopefully the rest of my co-hosts don't mind hanging out a little bit longer because we have another guest that was scheduled to join us about 15 minutes ago. But again, technical issues. So a little bit of a delay here. And that's the president of business operations for Orange County Soccer Club, Mr. Dan Rutstein.
Every time you get closer, Ray. Good evening, everyone.
Come on.
That's my big thing. I cannot get names. I just forget. I can't remember. Good thing my face was already red on this stream because it's redder than normal. Dan, welcome back to the show. You've been on here multiple times, so we appreciate you taking time. I know speaking you last, it was sort of, I'll be back on when I can share information. I think we know information about that specific thing we were talking about then, but what's new with the club? What's new stuff? I see you're not teasing the kit. You're not wearing the new kit that we're going to hear about soon. So unfortunately, that's not something that you can share with us.
No. Well, I was thinking about wearing the gnarly kit because we may or may not have made one or two for souvenirs. Although based on the reaction today, we're seriously considering just doing a full line of them because some people have.
I would buy one of them. I will tell you that right now. I would buy one of them if they came out. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that we're the first team ever to do a fake kit. We were inspired by a lot of them. I could find one. I think Dallas did it about 6 years ago with hidden cameras. But we knew we were going to launch a number of kits this year, and I've always wanted to do something fun. And we have a great design team. And I said to them, make it as ridiculous as possible. But in the way that football is going nowadays, ridiculous is in. So people want to buy it, so we just made enough for the shoot. Plus, I may have made an extra one for me. And as the third goalkeeper on the show tonight, I still play in an over 45s league, and the team's playing red and blue. So I will be wearing my gnarly shirt as a goalkeeper shirt. And Taylor, maybe you can do the same if we put it on sale.
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely take that up. Maybe it'll be the good luck charm for everyone.
Indeed. So, busy week. So, I can't remember what it is that last time I couldn't talk to you about, but I don't know if it wasn't the kit, was it? It must have been something else.
I think last time it was like shortly after whatever happened on the pitch.
Yes.
But I think the resolution has sort of become public, unless there's anything else
No.
that you have to share on that. But I think
Not
we
at
all
all.
sort of know the outcome.
Yeah, ban served. Pride game, I think, was a success with the help of fan engagement. The broader Orange County community, well, I'm not sure it's the Orange County, the broader social media community have not treated any team who've done anything to do with Pride well. That's not a phenomenon specific to us. That is, every team has been through a version of that. But it's not a reason not to do these things, of course. So we obviously did the Pride game, and I was delighted to see the team walking behind the flag on Saturday at the Pride. I was sorry I couldn't be there to join in the festivities. I was stuck with some children-related things that meant I couldn't get all the way across. But I'm glad we did it, and I'm grateful for the feedback we had from the fans. You know, I'm not sure we did Pride brilliantly in the past, so we made the effort to do it much better this year, and hopefully that worked, and obviously something to build on for next year.
Taylor, do you have any feedback or any thoughts to give to Dan that you want to do on the air? I'm sure you could give more details, but what were your thoughts on how the club handled the Pride Parade, and let Dan know?
Yeah, let me air everything out here. No, I'm kidding. It was fantastic. It was really great for the club to have done so much, listened to us, asked us questions, and wanted suggestions when it was available. So it was really great, and like we felt very included and loved, as opposed to like being used or anything like that. So it was great to see it, not even just at the game, but at the parade. Like, that was fantastic, and it meant a lot to us, and I know that it meant a lot to others as well.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So obviously this is a big week. We promised I think maybe a week or two ago, we said, there's a special game on July 1st. It's the 10th anniversary. Expect a number of surprises. We're wheeling them out this week. So obviously the first thing that happened is you saw the fake kit, which I'm delighted that people actually want to buy. I think, we're not going to just do it as a commercial exercise, because we shouldn't ask fans to buy 4 kits in a year, but we might do it as a charitable element, because people really want it. We should make the most of that and do something good for the community. The second thing that happened about 2 hours ago was we announced our free OCSC tattoos. Now, I asked specifically for we have a sort of feedback form, and I asked to be on it so I could see what's going on. There was a debate internally. Are we really even going to get 5 people to volunteer to do this? Safe to say, if you put your name down, you are now genuinely competing in a lottery. Your chances of winning are not amazing, because lots of people are surprising number. Since while I was waiting backstage, my phone pinged about 4 times as more people signed up for this thing. And I am beyond delighted, given there was an internal debate about whether Gnarly's face should legitimately be part of this, that about a third of the people wanting the free tattoos wanted Gnarly. Now, it's all going to be done. We're going to do like a number randomizer, so that the 5 get picked randomly, and we're not going to sort of split them up into the different ones. But, the law of averages at the moment would suggest that somebody is going to walk home with a sunglass wearing tattooed orange thing, although I think it might be in black and white, on their arm or whatever part of their body they so choose. And I feel like this is the sort of thing you do at 10 years. I think if we'd done this after 1 year, not sure we would have had that many volunteers, but people love the club enough to get themselves inked, and delighted to see that. So it's just one of a number of surprises this week. Obviously, I would love nothing more than to get a Gnarly tattoo on my forehead, but I don't want to skew the results. And, it's not fair to have, have a front office member of staff take away a spot. So I'm going to have to decline this year.
So the question I'll have is, are y'all going to do the tattoos sort of like they did on that show Jackass, where you go into like a golf cart, go off-roading, and you're trying to do the tattoo at that time? Or you're going to do something like put them on the pitch at halftime and try and do a quick tattoo in front of everyone at halftime?
Welcome to California, where the Orange County Department of Health and the permitting rules mean some of the more interesting things that we wanted to do are something we weren't able to do. So it will be done in a safe and friendly environment with no risk of people knocking you and you getting additional lines that you did not want.
I think Dylan wanted those additional lines. He might not sign up now for this. Any other teases you can give us for what the club will be announcing here, or you don't have to tell us exactly, but anything you can tease.
I'm trying to work out
without getting in trouble.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out what I'm allowed to say without being told off by the marketing department. I think, well, obviously, I can tell you that we have a new kit launch tomorrow. You may or not know what colour it will be. We were delighted that Men in Blazers were so desperate to tell everybody about the kit that they inadvertently broke the embargo. So if you followed them on Instagram stories, they were briefly revealing the kit, but it's obviously disappeared again because that's how stories work. So maybe one or two people have seen it, but it's exciting. It's different. It's not as different as the gnarly one, obviously, but we wanted to mark the occasion, and so we have a nice kit, which I think we've said the team will be playing in. Which is obviously the favourite kit to play in. So it's very exciting. One thing I'm fascinated by, I think we've done the 10 best goals, we've done the sort of year-by-year achievements of the club. One we've mentioned but not named any body or thing is the 10 icons of Orange County Soccer Club, which we are going to begin the unveiling of this weekend, which I'm sure some of you have seen on social media. I think when we announced it, a couple of people made some suggestions. I am obviously not going to tell you whether they were wrong or right, but like all of these things, there was some internal debate about what or who or how the 10 icons of the club will be represented. And I'm fascinated to see the fan reaction. We're not going to name them all, but we're going to name some of them and give out some mementos, but we're going to save some for the remainder of the year, because even though this is the 10th game of the 10th season in Irvine, obviously the rest of the year is a celebration as well. So I'm interested on your thoughts. You will, as much as any of the super fans, have views on whether the things you wanted in there are in there.
So I'm trying to see if anyone else has any questions for you. So I'll just open it up. Tyler, Brad, anyone have a question for Dan?
Yeah, I got one. So last time you were on the show, you kind of said you won't come back until we get good news about the stadium. Is there any discussions or things you can reveal about how that's going behind the scenes so far?
Oh, right. I'm not sure I said that, but this is modern America. You'll be able to check whether I did or not. So if I did, that's not why I'm here tonight. It's because of the 10th anniversary game. So there's nothing new to say. Nothing bad is happening, but there's nothing to share. We are doing everything in our power to make sure that Orange County Soccer Club have the right sort of venue to play in. And we're going to continue to do that. And it won't be the next time I come on necessarily, if there's another reason to come on. But I will share news when there is something to share, but there isn't at the moment. That's perfectly good question. Do you want to answer me who the anthem singer is going to be on Saturday? Anybody?
Is it gnarly?
It is not gnarly.
Okay. Well, Dan,
Does Gnarly even
who is
talk?
going to
I've been
sing
asking for
the
Gnarly
anthem?
to be on our show since he was unveiled, and I was told he doesn't talk much.
Well, it's an it. So we're very clear when Gnarly was found that it is an it.
They don't talk much.
So it is possible potentially for them to appear with some lifting up cards. That might be quite a feat, but I'm sure we can manage it at some stage. But if you give us the questions in advance, because Gnarly's ability to write is somewhat limited by the pause, but I'm sure we could do something with, if you were to give us a list of questions, I'm sure we could look at getting Gnarly and some cards on, or some subtitles, or somebody he could whisper to, a helper of some kind.
So who's the national anthem singer then?
Oh, there is no singer.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on. A question about. So I'm signed up for the raffle for the tattoos for Design C, the OC with the star. That's what I'm signed up for in the raffle. Fingers crossed. But
Noted.
given that so many people have signed up for it, do we think we might bring the tattoo raffle situation back?
Funny you should say that. The debate we had internally is if people like it, then why wouldn't we? So I'm not going to pretend we're the only sports team in the world to do tattoos. We are inspired by my friend owns a baseball team in Portland, the Pickles, who you may remember their large pickle has visited our team before. And they do Tattoo Tuesday. So obviously baseball's different. You have like 80 games a year or whatever it is. But every time it's a Tuesday, they tattoo. So we don't have any Tuesday games, obviously, but we plan, if it is a success, to bring the tattoos back. Maybe freshen up the designs, depending on what people are looking for. We might even do design your own tattoos within the scope of what our friend John from Old Time Tattoos can do. But we are just trying to make sure that this game is memorable. I think you're all season ticket holders, so you would have received the letter that I wrote to you that said, like, this is not the game to miss. Although I know at least one of you is actually missing the game, but this is not the game to miss. It's going to be a special occasion. There's lots of things going on there, and we want to make sure that our fans who are so loyal to the club and who have been through the highs and lows on and off the field that every sports fan has gone through come together for a celebration. I think it'd be fair to say we are trending towards a sellout. I think one should never, but it'll be our biggest crowd of the year. But whether it'll be our biggest crowd ever is certainly up to debate. We are pulling out all the stops, and we know that a lot of people are interested. Season tickets adding on, bringing their friends. The people with these flex packs are redeeming. Like, this feels like, maybe some of it's because it's one game in 7 weeks at home for us. Maybe it's the fact that we're now, after not the most amazing start to the year, we are one game away. I think if we can secure another victory, we should sneak into the playoffs. So, the stars are aligning for what should be a really special night. The weather's going to be magnificent. And obviously, regardless of any of that, it's a beer fest. And as you all know, people do love a beer fest at this club. So we think it'll be a really special night, and we hope to see as many people as possible there to join in the celebrations.
Dan, you mentioned highs and lows of this season. For you personally, what has been the high point of this year's team?
Ooh, good question. So we're talking, I guess, on the field. Obviously, you don't care about whether attendances are up or not. I mean, I know you care, but that's not what you're asking. I think it's probably the victory over Detroit for a couple of reasons. So basically, the two reasons are it's the first time we've won 2 games back to back. And I think we all knew that this team were good. The view is that this is a legitimately good team, as good as the team that won the championship. If not, it's a contending team. And we always felt like we were just round the corner from a strong performance. There's obviously been injuries, there's been suspensions, there's been issues, and I think we were waiting for the win. But every time we got the win, we thought, the win is a real win when you back it up. So when we beat, where are we now? I'm trying to think, it was our 4th home game. So we beat, someone's going to have to help me here. And then we won, and then we were defeated the next week. And then we won, and then we were defeated the next week. So it just didn't feel like the corner had been turned. But 2 wins in a row now feels meaningful. And I think the statisticians among us would be right to say that the last time we won 2 games in a row on the road were part of that wonderful season in 21. So I'm not going to make any ridiculously bold predictions, but I think the highlight is a second backup win, because it's more meaningful than just individual wins.
Yeah, that's obviously what we talked about tonight, as it was the most recent game. So it was a win against Detroit, but also in that game, there was a little bit of a low point at the end with that red card to Kyle Scott. Can you give us any more insight into kind of what happened? Seeing it on the feed, it was kind of unclear as what was going on. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
There isn't. Given it was a red card, not the sort of yellow card that you would expect for time wasting. It's in the hands of the USL Discipline Committee. So we don't know the result, and I wouldn't be able to talk about what's been going on, anyway because of that.
Do we know?
I haven't seen the footage directly.
Do we know what the red card was given for? Like, I don't think any of us have seen what like the actual reason was for it. Is that something that the club is told?
We're waiting for the official report.
Okay.
Nothing I can add on that particularly. I mean, the touchline was particularly close to the field, which I don't think helps anybody. But yeah, there's no real insight I can offer there. We will know this week just because of the nature of the way these things work. They have to tell you before the next game what's going on. So we hope to find something out, but I'm afraid I can't give you any insight there.
Perfect. Obviously we went way past our normal time because of some technical difficulties. We wanted to be able to speak with Colin. We wanted to be able to speak with you as well. Any last bits of information, any last message you have for the fans making their trip out to Championship Soccer Stadium this weekend, or any other last minute teases you can think of that you want to give our fans, our listeners?
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble, so I don't think I'm going to do any more teasers. I guess I have a question and a statement. So the question is, who among you, and I can check my emails to know whether you're telling the truth or not, have put their name in for a tattoo?
Me.
I'm too scared. I can't do it.
Wow.
I'm too scared. I want the gnarly face, but I'm too scared.
Maybe I misunderstood. I thought you guys were the super fans. But
I don't get inked up. I have a thing with a problem with needles, so I can't do it.
It's fine.
The one you should be disappointed in is Dylan, because I know Dylan will get tattoos, but he did not raise his hand.
Look, I'm not there, so I don't want to take away from someone who would be there.
Okay, that feels like a very good reason to bring back the tattoo man.
Yeah,
yes, please, by all means.
And it appears that
4 guys, 1 girl, and the girl is put in. You know what I mean? So let's see about that.
No, it's good. I like, obviously it's fascinating actually as a non-tattooed person. I've been reading the emails, but I've been getting texts from people I think they're just letting me know, or maybe they're just trying to get me to skew the draw in their favor, but that's not how these things work, of course.
I will say I would be first in line for a gnarly kit. I for sure would buy one of those. So if you're thinking about it, I'll put my hat in the ring for that.
Right. We will make some serious considerations. Well, let's see. Buy tomorrow's kit first. That's the sort of more sensible grown-up kit, and then we can talk about gnarly afterwards.
If I need to buy some pants to match the kit, what color pants should I be buying? I'm messing with you, Dan. I'm just trying to sneak in an answer of what color I need to get.
I mean, I'd like to hear what the official color is, or if he can give us a color that's on the jersey.
I can tell you that it's not black and it's not orange and it's not blue. So you will see tomorrow. Also, actually, if I've got I'm going to get told off if I'm wrong here, but we're unveiling some of these 10th anniversary merchandise tomorrow as well. So we've got a few lovely pieces that will come out, and there's some more to come through the rest of the season. So we want this season to feel special. Obviously, the club has been through an enormous amount. For those of you, you've all been following the club, I think longer than I've been working for the club. But it's a special time. We want people to enjoy that special time. And it's going to be a great occasion. And we hope to obviously carry that through for the rest of the year and make this a year to remember. So when whoever is planning the 15 or the 20-year anniversary and they look back on 23, there should be lots of highlights and talking points to put in their timeline when they make that graphic.
Perfect. Dan, thank you as always for taking some time to speak with us. We'll definitely talk to you again, hopefully sometime soon, and get more information. Maybe one of these days we'll be able to pull some information out of you that you're not supposed to give us, and and learn things early and figure that out. But not trying to get you in trouble or anything.
No, not at all. I'll tell you what I can do. I can guarantee you this. I will tell you my favourite vegetable after Dylan has got his tattoo.
I think you already told us. But hey, next time there's a raffle, I very much look forward to putting my name in it
Right.
a few times to cook the books a bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Very
You
good.
should do a vegetable tattoo specifically in honor of Dylan, and he'll get that one.
Like an
Well, I mean,
OC
the Portland Pickles
avocado.
did one, if you count pickles as a vegetable, so it wouldn't be the first team.
So any producer put carrots because you're English. That's the vegetable, but I thought peas are like the main vegetable for people in England.
Yeah, English people have been known to eat peas and carrots and parsnips, but none of those are my favorite vegetable.
Perfect. Dan, thank you as always for joining us, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon. And hey, hopefully everything runs smoothly this weekend for the 10-year in Irvine party, and hopefully you guys get some good people with those tattoos, and you can get some pictures and videos and showcase those awesome designs that people pick.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Again, we got some overtime here. Let's wrap things up really quickly. Quick random thoughts. Tyler, you go first.
So excited for the Women's World Cup. Get hyped.
All right, Dylan.
If anyone knows how to tell someone if anyone knows the symptoms of what a broken rib feels like, please feel free to email me at dylan@ocscpodcast.com. Please and thank you.
Apparently Dylan was like jumping off ladders or something like that. Brad.
I will actually be in attendance at this game for the first time this season at Championship Soccer Stadium. So if you're unlike Dylan and actually cool and will be there this weekend, I look forward to seeing you.
Taylor, are you gonna see Brad?
We absolutely will see Brad. That's pretty cool. My fun fact is, or fun thought, or whatever, we went to the Angel City Pride match yesterday. Yep, yesterday. And Ash had put in to get our picture up on the big screen, and it was when we were repping the OCSC Pride gear and jumping on the field. So we got that up there on the big screen. So that was pretty cool to see OCSC up there.
Woohoo, awesome. Awesome to hear from all of y'all. I don't have a random thought, so I'm just going to wrap things up here because we're way past our bedtime. I want to thank everyone on this show. We had Oz, we had Superfan Dan, we had Colin Shutler, we had Dan, president of Orange County. I'm not even going to say his last name because I get made fun of every time I try and do that. Tyler, Dylan, Brad, Taylor, producer Andy, everyone else, thank you for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us so late tonight. It's past everyone's bedtimes, so we appreciate that. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, and we are out.
Oh!